So the outside grow houses are starting to get really quite full. In here we have some Brussels sprouts, Trafalgar F1. Then we've got some radish, French breakfast, and scarlet globe. And some douche Provence peas that are taking their time, but they're being grown in little toilet roll holders, or toilet roll centres. Down here we have some winter lettuce, the valen, and also some more Brussels sprouts. And then there's a little nerine flower coming from a bulb there. And I've just put these two out. These are Rudbeckia. One of them is called, what was it called? Toto, and the other one is called Toto Rustic. If I just lift this off, actually. Oh, I'm making a very good job of this. These two are Toto Rustic, and then I've got lots more of this one, which is, oh, I can't see it, Prairie Sun. So in here we've got Prairie Sun. And then here we've got some more valen winter lettuce that's been out here for quite a while. Further down here we've got some leek elephant, and some coriander, and some more valen lettuce, and some French sorrel, which is here. And then this is just some dahlias and some hostas. And this little plant that I bought, it's a sedum. I need to be thinking about where I'm going to put that. So yeah, that's just about full. And if I turn around, we're getting a bit of sunshine, it's great. So in here, now what I've done, because I needed to get some tomatoes out of the house, I've got these plastic tubs, and I've just taken the lids off to let some air in at the moment. But I'm hoping that because we're in the they're in the plastic tubs and in the grow house, which is closed most of the time, that is going to be warm enough, and I'll just keep an eye on the temperatures. I don't think there's anything due really sub-zero, so I'm hoping they'll be okay. So in here we've got some I'm just trying to look through Gardener's Delight and some Yellow Delight, and they're looking quite nice. And then here we've got some peppers, some long red Marconi, and some King of the North. I hope you can see that. I'm just sort of holding the camera up. And then if we just go down a level, what do we have in here? Oh yeah, these are more tomatoes. These are Red Robin, and I've put these out quite early, I think, because they are teensy weensy, but needs must space is required in the house. So we shall just see. So that's those. Then we've got some all the year round cauliflower, and some onions. These are Ailsa Craig at the back there, and here is some more valen lettuce. And then down a level we have, just today I put out these beetroot, 2 sets of beetroot. There's Bolt Hardy and there's Chioggia, and then at the back there's 2 rows of turnip sweet ball. There's a couple of begonia tubers there, and this is again just done today, pea jaguar, and that is at the back some perpetual spinach. Oh, and down here I've actually got 2 tubs of potatoes. Red Duke of York, this is first early. There's 2 potatoes in there, and the same in that one. And they just went in yesterday? No, 8th of March. So this is the 15th, so 7 days ago. I wanted to get started on the old potato front. So it's great when the sun's beating down on it like this, but obviously it's not always like this, and it hasn't been like this for a while. But I'm pleased to have things on the go and looking quite good out here. Okay, in the raised vegetable truck, I've also been planting things out. Today I just put in these 3 strawberries because I basically took apart my strawberry bed and got rid of some of the older strawberries. These are some of the newer ones from that bed, and I've actually got potatoes going into that strawberry bed now. And then under this cloche has been on for a few weeks actually before I put anything in. Oh, now I've got to put this down. I think there's a chicken down here, is there? No. Good. So here we have some lettuce. Look at that. A lent on it and it's falling apart. I'll need to give it some care. So these lettuce are... what are they? Oh, these are more Valen, these ones. And actually these were, as well as, when I first put them out, as well as being under that domed cloche, I put another mini cloche over the top of them, so they're actually looking quite well, these ones. And then there's some radish that I popped in as well. This is Saxa 2. And then the rather sad looking lettuce, it's actually Little Gem. These ones, 1, 2, 3 and 4. And I just popped those in today. They were looking a bit in the house, so I popped them in. And then this space I've actually planted some seeds. So there's more Little Gem, a row of Little Gem here, and a row of white icicle radish there. So that's this bed full. I'm filling everything up. So I'm down in the furthest most corner of the garden, in this bed that's underneath a huge sycamore tree, and it's starting to come back to life. Can you see the bright orangey red of that cornice, that dogwood, which looks almost nicer without the leaves than it does with the leaves. And then we've got some hart's tongue ferns over there, and another hart's tongue fern there. A nice little clump of daffies with more to come. And this rather crazy looking conifer that, yeah, the shape is just weird. And down here we've got a batch of geranium, perennial geranium that gets everywhere. And some Brunnera Jack Frost, which is lovely, and that clump will get bigger and bigger as the season goes on, and then it will send up spikes of lovely purple flowers. And over in the corner here there are some hellebores, which of course have their wee heads down. Let's see if I can turn one up. They are just gorgeous though. And in the dark corner there, lots of ivy and some other ferns. There's some more hellebores here. Some lemon, some white and some purple. Gorgeous again. And this one's a brownie colour. It looks like it's been a cross between different ones, but it's still pretty. This bed here has got elephant garlic on the left, coming on nicely, and Japanese overwintering onions on, did I say left there? I don't know, it's early in the morning. Yeah, elephant garlic on the right and Japanese overwintering onions on the left. Bit of a change to this bed. This was the strawberries, But I've taken the strawberries out because a lot of them were old and last year I didn't really get many. And I have relocated some of the strawberries and replaced them with some Picasso potatoes that I put in yesterday. Yesterday being the 15th of March. So there's Picasso potatoes planted in there. This bed's a little bit quiet at the minute. The 3 big clumps of green there are scarlet poppies that will come up in the not too distant future. And then we have some, one of these are sort of daisy type flowers, I seem to recall. Can't remember the name. I think that's Simasifuga there. Wee dinky daffodil just come up there. And there's some sedum in there. Is it sedum? Oh God, my brain's not working this morning. That's not going to help, there's no label on it. Let's just see what happens. We'll see what it is when it comes up. And there's another poppy there. Now the exciting news, for me anyway in the garden, is that the hostas are starting to come up. I'll just move this. Look at that. Oh, and a bit of sycamore seedling. Yeah, so all over the garden we've got hostas coming up. And that can only mean one thing. I'm going to have to think about my protection from slugs, as always. An Aquilegia there, Granny's bonnet is the other name for it, and it will come up and send up. I think that one's just a purple one. This is a perennial Rudbeckia. A wee bit of time before it shows its face. Now here, where that's what looks like a stick is, that was a geum. I don't see much activity there. I'm wondering if it's perished over the winter. It normally does okay. Some more Aquilegia and some other bits and pieces. There's an Aquilegia here actually as well. I've done a little bit of work on this bed. I put another heuchera in. That one's Milan. That was in a pot. So I've popped that in there. And then we've got this little, is that marmalade heuchera there. Oh, hello girls. Hello. Hello. That mug isn't my coffee mug. I had a little plant in there actually. I had a little plant that was in with the quail, and I've taken it out of there and just potted it on in the garden. So I'll just need to, so it's really a plant pot. I'll take that away with me. I've put some campanula in that I bought just to add a bit of colour, these nice purple campanula. And what else do we have in here? We've got some wallflowers. And I can't really remember what else. I'm just trying to keep the girls away from it. Oh, and here's another hosta. Going to come up. Hello, Matilda. Yes. If I just swing you around here actually, I have moved some herbs around. So here's some rosemary in this blue pot, a little trio of blue pots here. Some sage in that one and some chives in that one. And it was the chives actually that were in with the quail in that little mug that was on the ground. And it's scythed because the quail were eating it. I didn't really want the quail to eat it. I try and put things in with the quail, plants and such like, just to give them some cover, things to hide under and run round, etc. But they keep eating things, and I didn't think they'd eat the chives because they're obviously oniony flavoured, but they did. And I didn't want them to do that because I was worried it was going to taint the taste of the eggs. So I removed the chives and I've popped it in a pot. Over by the side of the chicken run, I've put up 3 hanging basket brackets, and on 2 of them I've got some baskets with heuchera in. There's one, ignore the middle hanging basket, and there's a second one. And I'll get a third basket to match these two and pop it in the middle and put another heuchera in. That was just a basket that's redundant at the minute. So I think that'll look quite nice. It's sort of shaded here, so I can't really put flowers here unless I put them in and then move them around later. But I'll get maybe a lime green heuchera. Well, I've got lots in the garden, so I'll probably transplant one into a pot and put it there, and it'll be nice and bright. And they don't, they're not worried about getting too much sun. So here we are in the morning, and the door's open, and the girls have got the opportunity to come out. But they've come out for a little bit, and then they've just gone back in again. Hello, girls. Hello, Hambo. Matilda. Down over between the swing seat and the big shed, we've got some pots. Now, here you can see one of the challenges of having lots of trees around. Look at all these little seedlings that are trying to form in my pots. That's from the sycamore trees. That said, I do find it very therapeutic pulling them out. It's quite great fun. Obviously I haven't done that in these pots. But if you have a look at the back there, that's one of my biggest hostas, and that's starting to poke through again, which is great. And here we have another hosta that is showing its face. The Fatsia is doing okay, and the London Pride, which is a sort of succulenty sort of type plant, is looking lovely just now. I have a challenge trying to keep the chickens off it though, because the chickens actually love this plant. But even when they do partially annihilate it, it does bounce back. But it does look pretty just now, don't you think? Even if it doesn't have any flowers, it's just, well, not at the moment anyway. It does look pretty, the sort of leaf formations. The pussy willow, or the Kilmarnock willow as it's called, is starting to form its little catkins, and underneath lots of little narcissus. And there's some more hellebores snuggled in there. Can you see that blackbird? Oh, it's just flown away. Down in the pallet collar bed, not much change. Michaelov, excuse me, Michaelov garlic and some spinach. And this from last year, elephant garlic that has come back after having its top scythed off by Edith. Not much change in the veg department. It's purple sprouting broccoli, some garlics, some spinach, Japanese overwintering onions, and purple sprouting broccoli and some chard. Coming on, given that it's only mid-March, it's done well over the winter, and hopefully it will come on leaps and bounds now that the days are getting longer and slightly warmer. There's a nice big heuchera there, isn't it? What kind are you? Don't know. You're a mystery. This must be one that I got cheap and I've lost the label. Daffodils are starting to form their heads in this bed. And my little hanging baskets are still hanging on in there, excuse the pun, with the flowers that I planted a few weeks ago. So yeah, things are coming on in the garden. Starting to get a bit of colour, which is nice, and a lot more green, and my hosta's coming up, which is exciting. So yeah, I hope you're all doing well where you are and you're staying safe from this nasty coronavirus. Good luck with all that ensues where that's concerned. And thanks so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, hit subscribe, and you can follow me in all the other things that I do, including keeping quail and keeping chickens. For now though, thanks for watching and bye bye.